Hello, my sunflowers. How are you at the first of the year? Again, Happy New Year. I hope 2025 be nothing but a blessing. Okay.
Yes.
Now, with that being said, we hope and wish that you would subscribe to us. And we're trying to reach that 3,000. And you know, when we reach the 3,000, we're going to go 4,000 and 5,000. But nevertheless, we hope that you subscribe. Yes.
Like.
Yeah.
Comment.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what we like.
Support.
I don't know why I had freezer burn. I don't know. My brain went. But nevertheless, please subscribe and like us. And if you get this far now in our videos, then that means you like us.
Yes.
Show us.
Thank
by
you.
Thumbs up. Subscribe.
Yes. Become a sunflower.
Sunflowers. Hello, my sunflowers. How are you? Well, today is Thursday, wherever you may be, whenever you find this reading, I hope it finds you in a happy place. We just entered into, what was it? Tell me about last night, Baby Crone.
Yes.
Baby Crone wore me out to a groove. Don't forget. And we just did what we did. Baby Crone, if you can put a picture up of our ancestor table.
Oh yes, that would be very beautiful to share with you guys on this.
We keep it lit all the time, and we keep an incense, not all the time, but we try to burn an incense in here every day.
Yes. So yesterday was January 29th, and it represented the Chinese New Year. Now, we already started here in the States and pretty much around the rest of the world, has started our new year January 1st. However, this is a lunar new year, which symbolizes when the new moon starts, symbolizes a whole new cycle of lunar phases in a lunar year, basically.
So this is going to be a moon year.
Yes, a moon
So
year.
that means everything is going to be internal.
Mm-hmm.
That means what we're dealing with, and we see it.
Yes,
we
do.
see things. We see so much. I don't want to call it chaos. What we see here is a revamping, pulling out the old, trying to make something anew. And there's half that don't want it, half that do want it, a third that don't want it, and then you got a quarter that says, I don't want it. So we got this reflux that's going on in the earth, especially in the United States, because the United States is not just going through that, but it's what is this for the United States? Is it her birthday? Is it something about?
It had to do with a Saturn return.
It's the United States Saturn return.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going through, and we'll be going through for a few years. Yes.
Yes, as well as we had our Pluto return.
Yes.
Which is another big thing for why we're feeling this in the age, because Pluto and Aquarius symbolizes the dawn of a new age. Just astrologically, there's just things that are happening that are so rare that just symbolizes the dawn of a new age, if you want to say.
Yeah.
But back to the Chinese Lunar New Year, which we should be on lunar months, because that would just equal out to just be more sensible. But it's the year of the snake, and snake is all about transformation and all about that rebirth, letting go of the olds. And
rearranging.
Yep. And snakes happen to deal with wood, which
shedding the skin. You finished?
Yeah.
Which lead me into who I'm going to be reading about. What his name is? Billy Ray Cyrus, who right now, and because we're dealing with a moon phase, and the moon phases, that means water.
Yes.
So he's been dealing with, I don't know, substance or alcoholism. I don't know what it is, but I know that his son is one of his sons. I mean, their family is just disheveled. Let me just say they are just disheveled. I haven't heard much about Molly going on, but it breaks my heart to see the achy breaky heart man going through something. However, when he sang at, what was it, the inauguration, or what was he? Where did he sing? He sang Baby Crone. I have that information.
Yes,
and he sound I have to say, bless him, because he sound god awful. His voice was just raspy. He couldn't hit the notes. I don't know if it's from drinking or smoking. I don't know what it is, but we do know his family is very, very concerned about him. And he's saying pretty much, don't be concerned about me. He's rebelling against that. What do you think, baby?
Yes,
Crone?
it was at the inauguration.
And it was awful. Oh, from what we saw, we did see it. It was awful. It was awful. It was awful. It was awful.
Let me see what his zodiac sign is.
Yes. Let's see
I'm
where he
curious.
is. Last time I talked to Billy Ray, that was last year, and he was dealing with this marriage, what he had with this young woman, and that she just wore him out to a groove and spending his money allegedly. That's the last thing I heard. I don't know, people want me to read on, what's her name? Molly, but she's not really doing anything right now. I don't know, but making hits, singing songs, because that's a thing. She's one of my favorites. Yes. So,
Billy Ray is a Virgo.
He's a Virgo. So tell us about that Virgo. Even though that's the seventh house, the sixth house of family. Mm-hmm. And also they are the keepers of the flame.
Yes.
I was born in the house of Virgo. They are hard workers. What else can I say about them? They could be loyal or not loyal. Yeah, it depends on where you find them. They could be your best friend or your nightmare for enemy. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, baby Crone.
Yes, because when Virgos pick a cause to be to metaphorically lay their life for, they are going to be dedicated to that cause. And I think that's what makes Virgos loyal in that sense, because they are hard workers. They will get the job done. And they can almost be a bit perfectionist in the kind of way. They kind of want it to go their way, make sure the job gets done right.
Yeah, they can be. Yeah, God bless her soul, my sister Bonnie. Boy, when she clean, you ain't want to be around her, because she gets so focused and she love things. Don't mess with her stuff. Just keep
routine and organized.
Routine, organized, always, generous. Mm-hmm. They could be very, very generous. But they are faithful, but they honestly could be hell on wheels.
I think that's because they're ruled by Mercury, that fast planet.
Oh, Mercury.
Closest to the planet represents
the heat, heat. So they physical. So you would look at them, Virgos are Earth. Mm-hmm. So they are physical. They are really physical. And that goes to show with Beyonce. Yep. Look how she gets on that show and she slams. Mm-hmm. Every time. I use her because we know her and we see her work ethics, and she strives for perfection. Yes. And that's how my sister was. And me, that Virgo, and me, the house, I'm the same way. What do you think?
Yes.
I can get on my own nerves. Also mixing with the Sagittarius, my sun sign, and my moon sign, Cancer, which can be a mess. Don't talk about you, baby. Mm-hmm. What are you?
Well, I was lucky to be born in the same house as Sagittarius, my sun sign.
I love my sun sign. I wish I could be my sun sign all the time, because I think I would be so well-rounded.
I feel you on that one, but I'm definitely my moon sign, which is an earth sign, which is Taurus.
Very stubborn.
Yes, that is
so true. In opposition of the
Sagittarius. Mm-hmm. That is true. And that does arise some conflicts, sometimes I cannot be as a.
But you was born in your own
home, which I should have.
I'm jealous about that.
To me, I should.
But you don't.
No, that Earth really.
That Earth come through you with that Taurus. Mm-hmm. That brings it out, because if you didn't, you'll be running wild, running away from your problems.
I think that's why I got a fixed Earth sign at that,
to balance that. Absolutely. Could you imagine? Is there anyone that just born in all the same sun, same yes, moon? Mm-hmm. I mean, sun. All of it is all like Sagittarius.
Yes, you can be.
Ooh, see. Ooh.
Yeah, it would be depending on the time you were born, but specifically people that are born on a new moon, when the sun and moon are basically covering each other. That's a very powerful event, and two, you have a lot to work out.
Wow. So Well, baby Crone, what I can say about dealing with a Sagittarius, they're easy.
Yes, they are.
Now, that's not all Sagittarius, because remember, you don't know what their moon sign is. You don't know anything. You know their outer sign, and we are more than just the outer persona. We have an inside. What rules that? What rules the inside shows on the outside, right? And that's the inside. The outside is what we want the world to see about us, but the true nature is on the inside. So you trap a person, you put a person under pressure, you put them in a place where they're unhappy or miserable. That's when you begin to see who they are on the inside. Did I make that clear?
Yes, you did.
All right. Now with Billy Ray, it starts off with him being the fool. When I think of the fool, it's not listening to anyone. You're going to do it your way. This is Uranus. You're going to do it your way. You know, Uranus. Tell me about Uranus, baby.
Yes, I just want to quickly jump in there because I looked up Billy Ray's moon sign based off the day he was born. Aquarius, which is ruled by Uranus, so the fool, and talking about that lunar new
and we're in the house as I'm reading, so he's going through a tough time because we are in the area, we are in Uranus. So this is Uranus. I mean, this is Aquarius birthday. It comes once a month because every sign have their month, just like you have a birthday, they have a birthday. So he's in his month, and this is all I see is not chaos, but chaos.
Yeah, maybe him trying to change up his life, do something new. Who knows?
What I do see, I see this. I see here. I see the fool. He's not listening to anyone. He want to do it his own way. And sometimes when you think of Uranus, they can be into alcoholism, drugs, because they can be foolish and to drown out their sorrows as they go through life doing it their way for whatever reason they could be. So him having an issue with drinking, I definitely can see it all at the same time. And I can see also here Venus, which spoils, which used to have in their own way, which like that, like air. Venus is air, like Libra. And a little bit like Aquarius. And what is the other one? Gemini.
All these duality
signs for air, but we see why, because of the water bear, because you need water to help promote air. That's where the cooling come from, is through the water that's in air, right? Now, if we didn't have any water, it'll still have air. It'll be stifling though. So where water cools, right?
Yeah.
So we definitely see Venus. And so we definitely see that, what can I say? I see that there is a problem. And I think that I'm channeling this too. Okay. What I'm getting from him is overly indulgent.
Okay.
It isn't that he sees himself as overly indulgent because he's celebrating. It's fun. If anyone gets high or have been high or live a life of addiction of any sort, it alters your universe. It alters your universe, your perspective. And as long as you're dealing in that substance, it makes everything happy for you. What do you think?
Yeah,
it takes away the cobwebs. And this is why it's so hard for people to quit, because it drowns out the noise. It drowns out the noise, and you can't hear because you don't want to deal with the problem. So it's an easy escape. Go ahead, baby.
Yeah, you said the exact word I was about to say. Right, escapism.
It drowns it out. So it's hard to let it go. It's hard to allow it to move on because it's a crutch. It's like you're feeling great, and it's like someone's coming along and pissing on your happiness, because when you're not high or you're not inebriated, sure, that's the downside of it. But before you get inebriated or before you get too high, you're enjoying this. You're not even thinking about your burdens and your problems, right? So you lack temperance. So you're out of balance. And what I see for Billy, he's out of balance. I see so much. Because he has much, he can afford much. And so it's hard to hear when you have everything. It's hard to hear those that's looking out for you, because it begins to seem like you're judging me. You're finding fault with me. And because they love what they're feeling. No, if you drunk before you get inebriated, you go through the stages. And then it's only after that you feel sick or you this and that. And that's where you become a mess. Because you lack what? Balance. And this is temperance. So you're lacking that. So I definitely see that. And so for this reason, because he enjoy it, he don't want to let it go. But I'm also feeling that if he doesn't, then this is just me off the cuff. I feel as though that this is going to affect his life.
Oh, that's what I was just getting ready to ask.
No, talk to me.
Because
we both tapped in on that.
Yeah, because just looking at it, because the way he was describing it, my two questions I was going to ask is it sounds like this is affecting his life, because normally when they say when you're an addict, you're an addict when it starts affecting your life, you're not able to like maintain properly.
It. You're hurting people around you. That's how you know, hey, I have an addiction, because it starts affecting your life. It affects your job. You may show up, but you're showing up in a mess. You may not go to work. You may just take off. You may be sick. All those things because of the drug. You understand? However, I do see this, honestly, I see that this is affecting him. It's affecting his life. It really is. It's affecting his money. It's affecting his show. It's affecting his performance. It's affecting his voice all at the same time. He sees it, because just because you're inebriated or high, it's not like you don't know what's going on with you. You just don't want to deal with it, because you like hiding it. You don't want to deal with it. That's why the substance is there. You don't want to deal with it. But I see a loss. I see great loss. I see a loss with his family. Not like they're gone, but a separation. Because you see in the back of this is the 5. Nothing good comes with 5s, but in reading cards.
Right.
What is the 5th? What is the 5th month? January, February, March, April, May. May. There it is. Gemini.
Oh, okay.
Gemini. So you can see here grief. You can see here it's still life. It's still activity. But you could see a mourning. You could see someone that is just not ready to cope, not ready to let it go. You're looking at what is lost, but you're not looking at what's full behind you. It ain't over. It ain't over, but I do think whatever he's doing is definitely affecting him. He's out of order. But he's happy. When he's happy. And as long as you're feeding yourself, that substance, be it marijuana, be it alcohol, be it whatever. I don't.
Even just taking it out of substance territory, you could be addicted with love. You could be
sex.
All things that can get your mind.
Those are endorphins, and your body is craving it. So he's got to find balance. And one thing about Libra, although she is Mother Earth, blessings, lover, you can fall into a sense of overly indulgence, because she gives. And wherever she is, she's earth. She's a birther. She gives birth to all things. This is where your blessings come from. This is where every material thing you ever had in your life, your home, she's earth. Everything that this earth is because of Venus.
Yes.
But we agree.
Yes,
so I could see the overly indulgence. I can see the happiness. And a lot of times when people are like that, either they're going to party by themselves or they're going to party with people that are in the same, that's enjoying it with them. They don't want no wetbacks. They don't want, when I say wetbacks, people that's going to dull and dampen it.
Soggy blanket.
I don't want that. I want somebody that want to party, have a good time, because we're in it together, right? All at the same time, I see here
the moon
that
in Libra.
Talk to me, baby Crone.
That the symbolizing of balance. Wow, a lot of water cards.
A lot of water. I was gonna say, I'm glad you said it. Go ahead, baby Crone.
Yeah, but just looking at that Libra in the moon, just showing somebody that could be kind of like blocked off emotionally, even, and maybe not so receptive, like
not ready to be
early. Not quite receptive to hear what others
not ready to hear. Don't want to hear. I don't know if you could see it because of the light.
Yeah, I feel you.
Don't want to hear it. Don't want to see it. Not now. And that's why I'm saying, how old is he?
Let me see. He is 63.
Okay, so living this life is going to affect him, his physical body, and we see it's already affecting his voice because it was god awful. It was, and I wonder how his children feel about it. I guess one of his sons was mortified. I don't know, but to see my dad like that, it would break my heart,
yes, especially at the inauguration.
Oh, yeah. Now, I don't know if the man was drinking or anything, but all I know is that his voice was shot to shingles.
Yes. My second question that I wanted to know is, can we find, could the cards find out what is Billy Ray trying to escape or dull inside of himself?
I see death. And if I see death, that means he's having a hard time of letting something go. Something if the death is showing up, you see that? I don't know if you could see it. But if death is showing up, that means he's not moving forward. And you see with his ideas, that means he's stuck. It's something that he's bitter about, something that is so deep within inside of him that he drinks or whatever he does. I don't know. Everything I say is allegedly. Never met that man, never seen him a day in my life. All I know of him is on TV. Don't know, but I'm reading the cards, okay? And what I see is he's unable to move forward. So therefore, I really see his creative juices are kind of like low, because he's dulling them. He's not being able to move forward like he wants. He's kind of like stagnant, and his work, his singing isn't right. So this is affecting his finances. But because he had personality, he can slide by, but only for a little while. So I see he's in a stuck place. But there it is again, stuck. Here we see here, when we see a major arcana, we see he lacks the balance because the negative is overpowering the positive. And it must be heart-wrenching. And we also see the feminine side. What is that? The side of emotions, the side that he doesn't want to listen, the side that he want to do it his way because he's not ready. And sometimes it takes something like ulcers, or sometimes it takes something like the C word. Or sometimes it takes an accident, like Karen Hugler. Yep. Sometimes it takes something to jolt you out of that state to get help or to stop. What do you think?
Yes.
To stop. You have another question.
Another question I want to know, is Billy Ray still suffering from that breakup he had?
That woman, she shows up here, the money grabber, and you mentioned it, and she shows up, and it was turbulent. Here's another 5. So this was a turbulent, but is that something that he's holding on to? I'm probably getting the impression that that's gone. He left that, but it may have let him be a little bit leery of allowing someone into his life.
Okay.
How is his relationship with Miley Cyrus going?
Yes.
Let's see that. I'm going to shuffle for this.
Yes, last time I heard back then,
Mm-hmm.
it just wasn't.
It wasn't good?
No.
So let's see how it's going with Miley Cyrus. We don't need to. That's good. Miley. I don't think they're close because this card seems like closed off. It seems selfish. This is the Four of Pentacles. The devil. I don't, whatever love they used to show on TV, it's not there. I see I just see when, in this case, the devil means deception, but I'm hearing disrespect.
Okay.
I'm getting the feeling that because whatever his substance abuse, whatever allegedly, is causing a separation where, I'm really picking up, this is not yesterday. This has been going on for years, off and on, off and on. This is just more on. And I see where they were close and I see where they would work together. I don't see that anymore. I think fame because I see selfishness, and here you see the Pentacle, Three of Pentacles working together, but I see a rift in the middle of that, disrespect. And I think that they are not close like that as of now. And I think it's because of lifestyle choices.
Okay.
What do you think? You have another question?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do have another question. I want to know, how's Billy Ray Cyrus and his son Trace Cyrus? That's the one that.
Yeah, that one. You see, this is turbulent. He doesn't, you see, when it's pentacles, that's earth, it's solid, that's stubborn. I don't want to hear what you got to say. I don't like you right now. So because it coming down, see, and we see how many pentacles? 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 4 pentacles. So, and we see the Emperor. It's like I'm the dad. He's still holding on to, I'm the dad. You don't tell me what to do. I'm your dad. You're no better than me. Who do you think you are? So it's total disrespect. That's what I feel. Total disrespect. The same thing. It's just they don't have the respect for their dad. And he's offended by it. You know, this is my life. I live it the way I want, you know, and yet they have the, because it's their dad and they may want a relationship with it, but I'm getting the impression everybody going about it in the wrong way. That is not the way you treat someone that has an addiction.
Got you.
It's whatever they're doing it maybe out of caring, because caring is a part of love.
Yeah.
But when you have to expose your dad, I don't see that as love. It could be caring, because caring is a part of love. But you understand what you understand what I'm saying?
They did it with good intent, with the fact of maybe if we do this, he'll come to his senses and be like, oh, right. Thank you for loving me and showing me my ways. But you know, because it makes him more guarded. It makes him like, I don't respect you. You're trying to hurt me, trying to hurt my career. You're trying to do this. And now, and he's the Emperor. He's still, I'm your dad. You know, you don't tell me what to do. You could see how this goes. I'm paraphrasing, but you could see. And last, we see at the end, as always, be it a year from now, 2 years, it will work itself out like a loving family do. Because at the end of the day, they do love each other. It's just they're fractured. Now, what about Molly? I want to ask me one question about Molly specifically. About her and her career? Anything you want to know about her. Okay, how is Miley Cyrus mental? Like,
right now, I see a cup. Is she in a relationship? I see she's being, I see sometimes, I see like she's in a relationship, something that's soothing, something that she's holding on, something she ain't ready to share with the world yet. You know, I see that she's grown up over the years. I see that things are turning around for her. Is she in a relationship?
Yes, with somebody named Max Mirando since 2021.
See, so I see in a relationship, and I also see when it come down with her father, she just out of it. Like I don't even want to deal with it because she knows how it is because she suffered in the past, you know, and maybe all of them have, but I see how she is, and there we see the high. She's conforming. She's changing. She's growing up. She's not out there like that no more. Where there was a time she was twerking, smoking, drinking, doing everything you could do, swinging on a cannonball. I loved her. But you see, she's growing up. She's finding herself, and she's, even though she's going through a little turbulence, I don't know because this reading is not about her, but I do see that she too is feeling a little bound, and she could be feeling, but in the relationship is about, I see her dealing with conformity, changing her ways. However, this relationship is really helping her out with her issues because she has to be twisted or kind of messed up dealing with this, right?
Yeah.
So I definitely see but whatever she's at, she's conforming. She's trying to change her life around. She's doing what she got to do to find peace and make her peace. And I want to know his first wife, Miley Cyrus' mother, will her and Billy Ray ever get back together?
That's a good question.
I would like to know that. I see the Hermit, and I see distance, heartache, broke, and this is the last. I think they're friends, and I think that being in a relationship, I don't see that. Too much don't went on. I see a broken heart. I see distance, but I do see that she cared. They are still family oriented, but not in a loving way. I do see that.
Yeah, speaking of her, I would just like to, I actually have two questions. I just found out some slight interesting information. One, how is Trish doing? I'm not sure if anyone cares about Trish.
Who is Trish?
Miley Cyrus's mom.
That's his wife. That's who I just read.
I know. Yeah. I was just curious, how was her mental? Because an article from 4 weeks ago talked about how, ironically, after she quit weed, and she's talking about how
quit weed.
Yeah, quit
marijuana.
Yeah, marijuana.
Okay.
And she talks about how that has affected her mental health, which I just found it interesting. Talking about Billy.
What do you mean? Affected it positively, negatively?
Let me read the article. It's from E. Okay, let's see. She talks about how it's affected her anxiety.
Is that a good? Weed can be medical, so I don't know if it's good or bad. And I'm not clear. And is this a medical? Has it helped her mentally, or has it helped her? Or it didn't help.
Yeah, she's thinking about it to help her with her mental health because it helps reduces some of her anxiety that she has going into public. She's thinking about reintroducing it or not trying to reintroduce it because she talked about I know this is a whole side tangent. I was just
no, go good, because I definitely see, because they are a family. This is a family that fell apart, you know, and so I do see a distance that they were separated. They're not close, but they seem like they're getting close again. Like she knows what's going on in her life, but from what I'm gathering, he caused that woman a lot of heartache. I don't know. That's what I get, but. Go ahead, baby Crone.
Yeah, to just straight up read the article.
How long is it?
I'm just going to read these two paragraphs
Go ahead.
that I was trying to summarize.
Okay.
She said in a quote, "I went on vacation and it was somewhere where I could not have pot. And like 3 days in, had the worst anxiety I've ever had in my life. And when I tried to smoke it again, nope. After quitting cold
What do you
turkey,
mean, no?
I think she said she tried smoking it again and it
made her worse.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it says, but even though she's confessed that she's looking to reintroduce the drug amid recent struggles with anxiety and mental health. So she's kind of leery about it. after that 3-day break, but maybe she had, a little too
She
much.
probably had the wrong kind. She probably need a one-on-one, something like that. I've tried marijuana.
But I'm sure what's going on with her life and hearing about her ex-husband and the relationship she has with her kids. Speaking of which, I want to know, is Billy Ray in the process of making an album with one of his sons?
So much friction and fighting right now.
Okay.
They're going to blend, but not right now.
Okay.
Because I definitely see too much friction, but in time,
okay.
They'll come together.
That's good. I just wanted to see if this drama, that was a different son. I think that was named Barrison was his name. That's the album he's doing with his son. Okay.
Hey, baby Crone.
Yes, it says here in the article, it says after, this is talking about Barrison. It says after the country singer's performance at Donald Trump's inaugural ball went sideways, he announced the release of a new album produced by his son Barrison.
Who is he?
Billy Ray.
Okay.
It starts and ends with art. Barrison is very talented, and 2025 is his year. I'm glad to be a part of it. This record,
says Billy Ray.
I'm glad to be a part of it. This record is going to be special. I'm gearing up for what will be a journey of a lifetime.
Now, let me say this. Now, excuse me, just because his singing has seemed like it's depleted with age also and abuse, because you can abuse your vocal cords where they could be no longer useful. But that doesn't mean it kill your talent, he's still talented. Look what he did with Old Town Road Old Town Road. So we know he's very talented. Look at his daughter. So just because one thing is gone doesn't mean all is lost. I do see a reconciliation, but right now I just think that there's friction going on with them.
Fair.
And even though right now I just think that the cards are showing me that right now Billy Ray is standing out opposition of his family. Not that they don't talk to him. It's just that he's not listening right now. Just due to circumstances. But I do see healing. I do. I see healing in all of this. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but eventually. Time have a way of healing things when you allow it to.
Yes. Just, as a quick side question, I want to know, could Billy Ray be going through a midlife crisis because he's 63?
Well, he could be, but I think midlife crisis happens somewhere in your mid-40s or your mid-50s.
Usually mid-50s, because usually when your second Saturn turn comes, you're 55. That's why I'm like, he's not too far off.
Yeah, 55. But a midlife crisis could last 5 years.
Okay.
It could last 8 years. It could last a year. It depends on the individual.
Gotcha.
But a midlife crisis is a midlife crisis, and it can last. People get into relationships, travel. They just do odd things as if they're doing this rodeo one more time and thinking they're young and can handle it. So that's a midlife crisis because it's so abrupt.
Okay.
And it changes everything around you. It ruins marriages. It separates you from your kids. However, I don't know if he's going through a midlife crisis. Maybe he was at the time when he was dealing with that young girl, maybe. But at this point, I just think that he's dealing with, my opinion, is some kind of substance abuse.
Okay.
That's what I think. I could be wrong. And I think that he knows something is wrong with his voice. But that doesn't mean he can't play the piano. Play a guitar.
Right.
That doesn't mean that he can't write music. Doesn't mean that. It just means that it looks like his days of performing are withering away. I hope he pulled it together. I really, really do. Let's see. And that card that you asked, it was a child, a midlife crisis. But if he's going through any crisis, it's mental. It has to deal with his frequency. Gotcha. He's not seeing, he's not hearing clearly, foggy. as a child. He's responding to his mental as a child would, not as an adult. However, when he's sober, he probably fine. I'm not saying this man is an alcoholic. I'm saying he or a drug addict or anything. Right. I'm just
allegedly.
These are alleged. I'm making this clear. But because of his son and because of what everything is going on, that's what it appears to be. Mm-hmm. But I have nothing to stake a stake in that. But I do see that he's not thinking fully in his full capacity. Right now, he's operating on his own thoughts. This is what I think. This is what I feel. This is my own opinion. And I think that's what he's operating on. What do you think?
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
And so let's see what the oracle has to say.
I really enjoyed this reading. We looked at it from every possible angle.
Every angle. So let's see.
Mental, astrology, physical.
Let's see. Let's see.
Partnership.
We see here a gray mouse, adaptability, resourcefulness, stoutish.
Like that.
All those things. I think he's a good guy.
Yeah, I like those.
He's a good guy. That gray mouse. He's a good guy. However, what's happening?
Kind of like a tainted purity.
Yes, but not wanting to deal because I see the broom. Not wanting to deal with that. So the good side of him, is there, but he's not willing to deal with the negative.
Right.
And last, I see eclipse. That means, go ahead, baby. Go ahead. You go ahead, take it. Do you want it?
Yes, I do. Speaking of the moon and eclipses.
And this is a moon eclipse. So,
yeah. Mm-hmm. Talking about how the emotions are not being seen too clearly. Your judgment could be a little bit
that's what we said
misaligned. Here. Yep. So it's just all about decision making, and how you perceive your situation is a bit skewed.
And it's a dark period for him, especially now. Excuse me. Especially now after having to look back and hearing the negative, but he showed up.
He did.
I would rather for him to show up than not show up. He performed. He did what he had to do. It was awful, but he showed up, and that speaks volumes. And also,
true to a Virgo.
Yes, true to a Virgo. I definitely see that he's going through a dark period. This clip means a period of time. He's going through an eclipse period right now, and it is affecting his family. It's affecting him.
Yes.
But like I said, I see this card, and sometimes when this card show up, it's a fake victory that you're not showing. You're showing the world what they want to see, but behind it, it's not that at all. Mm-hmm. But I have to believe with a family like that, and then I see here, especially with his son, who he's talking about, I'm thinking that it will all come together. Maybe in a few years, I'm a firm believer that time have a way of healing things if you want it, because this was a famous family on TV.
Yes.
And it's sad to see that it's shot to smithereens, and they're all affected by it. Yes. So prayers going up for them, and prayers going up for Molly and her father, Billy, whatever the situation is. I pray that they find peace. And that's my read.
Yeah, that was a good read.
You like that?
I did.
Sunflowers.